course, plenty of circumstantial evidence to nail this defendant. But if you wait, it really is sketchy, and you could get nailed in the end. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, David Nilo. He says he's a musician and booking agent, and he arranged for the defendant and his band to play a gig last May. He was supposed to collect 20% of the fee the band was paid, but the defendant stiffed him. He can't understand why, because they've worked together before without incident. The guy knows he owes him, but he's guessing he needs to hear a judge say it. He's suing for $480, the amount he's due.
Okay, what is it gonna be?
This is the defendant, Franc Aledia. He says the guitar player was in charge of the money and collected the fee from the club. Why the plaintiff is coming after him for the whole commission is anyone's guess. He's not about to play a gig for free, and the guy should have gotten his commission up front from the club. Bottom line, he refuses to work with a slackjaw anymore, and is pretty sure the judge is going to side with him. He's accused of drumming up a lawsuit.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Now, they played
Hang
here,
on, wait a
correct?
minute.
And they got paid, correct?
Yes, they did.
Why did you get stiffed?
Well, that's a good question.
Have you ever asked them about that?
Yes.
So, is that acting? Because I've never seen that guy before. Is People's Court fake?
No, it's real.
Hey, hurt. And welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff is a musical booking agent and claims the defendant stiffed him on a gig. And the defendant says blame it on the guitar player, not him. It's the case of he wants revenge. Warren.
Thank you, Douglas. All right, Mr. Nilo, you are suing on behalf of Soundstation Entertainment Services, Mr. Franc Aledia and Aledia Entertainment, LLC, for $480 that you say is your commission on a gig that you got for them. Is that correct?
That is
Tell me what
correct.
happened here.
Well, I booked their band in the club again on the weekend of May 12th and 13th, and they performed, and they were paid.
What
And
club?
the Boathouse Bar and Grill, and it's on Put in Bay, which is a little resort island on Lake Erie.
Okay.
They have entertainment in the summer, and they were contracted to send in a commission on the Monday following the performance, and they didn't send anything in.
All right, now, when you contracted them on behalf of Sensation, you've handed up the contract. This was on March 18th
Correct.
to appear on when?
Well, for that contract is for all their performances in the summer, just agreeing to pay a 20%
Each time?
commission each time they perform.
Okay, how many times did they perform?
Well, they just performed that one time.
Okay. And that was when, in May, you said?
That was May 12th and 13th.
All right, and then you're supposed to get 20% of what they get paid, and how do we know from this contract how much is 20% of what they got paid?
Well, the other contract
Okay.
has the gross on it.
With the Boathouse, that one says it's $2,400 was a compensation agreed upon. All right, now they played there, correct?
Correct.
And they got paid, correct?
Yes, they did.
Why did you get stiffed?
Well, that's a good question.
Have you ever asked them about that?
Yes. And
Okay, Mr. Aledia, what's going on? Why don't we hear it in your own words? Why won't you pay the man his commission? He got you the gig.
Yeah. And the reason is, we played there before, Shannon and I, as a duo, and we brought the band up there.
What's the name of your band?
As Is was the band that played.
As Is.
Yes.
Okay.
So we brought that band up, for our first show, and when we played there, we got paid, everything, but what we originally had discussed was that they would give us a check, and then I would write everything from there. I'd pay the band and the sound, and then I'd write Mr. Nilo a check. But what happened...
Actually, it would go in this order. You'd write Mr. Nilo a check, and then you would pay the sound, and then you would pay the band, right? Because the band makes the profit, and that's minus the expenses that include commission and everything else.
Correct, right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's off the top.
Right.
The 20% of the $2,400.
Right.
And that's what we agreed upon. When we had finished the show, Shannon was approached by the manager and was given cash.
How much cash? $2,400?
Well, that's...
Shannon, how much cash were you given? Your last name, Shannon?
Smith.
Okay, Mr. Smith, how much money were you given?
Well, once I actually got out of the bar and went into the bathroom because I know that sounds crazy, but I got handed a wad of money in a bar that was filled with probably 1,000 people. So I didn't want to start trying to divvying up money or count it in front of everybody. went into the bathroom, went into the stall, counted out the money.
I had to be cozy.
Yeah, you know, counted out the...
Where were you putting the dough as you were running? I don't even want to know. All right, so you're counting the money.
Towels on the sink, you know how it goes. It's all good. So counted out the sound guys' money first, and then we had $380 each that we knew that we were going to get for playing the show for...
When you're counting out when you're divvying up the dough, do you ever take into account Sound Station's cut? Sort of slipped your mind that night, didn't it?
No. Well, maybe.
Well,
Someone needs to tell as is, as if.
That is fucking quiet.
We don't see her right now.
Attorney Scott Schiff, call me. It's just that easy.
Closed captioning and other consideration for the People's Court.
So the plaintiff books this band, and the drummer who's being sued says, you know what, the guitar player got all the money, divided it all up. You know, the plaintiff may have been entitled to a commission, but it's just too late. Is that a defense?
No, I don't think so. He needs to pay up either way.
But why should the drummer shoulder the entire obligation?
I think that they should all chip in. I don't think that it should just be the drummer. I don't know. If they owe him money, then he should get it.
Anybody think just tough luck for this guy? Anybody think just tough luck the ship has sailed?
Seems like it.
It's not really tough luck if they in together. You know what I'm saying? If I'm booking gigs for you, you should cut me in on anything that goes down.
Dude, I would never turn on you. Going inside the courtroom.
the problem is he did not know.
He who? Shannon?
Shannon.
Smith?
Yeah, he didn't know the arrangement that Mr. Nyla and myself had. Because prior to this, we had an issue where I wasn't able to pay him his commission in a timely manner. So I thought that maybe the club had just taken the money out because it was exactly the amount
Why
of
would
money.
you think that? You signed a $2,400 contract. You know that he's supposed to get a commission on your contract, so he gets 20% of $2,400. Why would
Right.
you think that $2,400 magically stretches more for you than it does for everybody else?
No, it was exactly what Shannon divvied up. It was exactly minus 480. It wasn't couldn't have been a coincidence. So I just thought, okay.
I don't
well, they took
understand
it.
what you're saying.
When he divvied up the money in 4 ways,
Yeah.
it was $380. Everybody received $380. When we had figured it all out, everybody
Yes.
knew because
How many band members are there?
Four of us.
Yes, and your premise is what now? Okay, that's
We-
1,520.
Right.
Right? 380 times 4.
Yeah.
If you subtract from 2,400, 1,520, what do you have? $880. So
Yeah.
no, it's not the exact amount missing was $480. You're gonna have to try something else.
No, the $400 went to the sound company.
Okay.
See, the $400 went to the sound company that we had to pay. That was where the other $400 went. So that's why. Usually we get a check. So when we got the cash, I thought for sure at the
Shannon's
time.
counting money on a toilet. Okay? Do you have any receipts to show $400 went to the sound company?
No.
Do you have a receipt to show how much cash you accepted from the company, which I guess would mean that what you were saying is they didn't give you $2,400? Is that what you're saying?
We never signed a
Stop
receipt for
talking.
cash.
Shannon Smith, did they give you $2,400? Yes or no?
Not to my knowledge.
How much did they give you?
All I know is they gave me.
You just don't know.
Listen, they gave me money.
They gave you a big wad of money. And you were saying 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. Basically, that's how.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what, Shannon? Don't handle the money. Stick to the. What do you play?
Guitar.
Stick to the guitar, okay? Because this is absurd. The boathouse says they gave you $2,400. Your contract says they gave you $2,400. You accepted cash, okay? And now you're gonna say, oh no, they already took it off the top, so I don't owe money. You think that defense could possibly fly? $480 verdict for the plaintiff. And incidentally, just so that you are clear, this verdict is against Aledia Entertainment LLC, which is your company. You're not incorporated, correct?
Correct.
Right. You're going to have to pay it. And let me explain why it's fair that you're going to have to pay it. Because you're the big daddy signing the big contracts and signing up the gigs. So if you're signing for the entertainment company, then you're going to have to pay that entertainment company's debt. So if you want to go ahead and sue the other band members for the money, you'll probably win that case. Don't bring it in front of me, though. I'm bored of this topic.
So the booker gets paid his vig there, and you lose his case. What's your reaction to the verdict as you come out, you guys?
Well, It was just that big a misunderstanding when you were dealing with so many band members and trying to figure out what was really going on. I guess that.
The judge says if you sue the other band members for this loss, you probably win the case. How about that?
Not gonna do it. No.
We learned not to count money in the toilet anymore.
Yeah, you learned that? Listen, $3.80 a piece, right? Times 4, 15, 20. The sound guy got 400. That's 19.20. Where's the other 480? Shannon.
No, that's not Shannon. We don't know.
Are you sure it's not Shannon?
Yeah, he's my best friend. He wouldn't do that.
Where is it?
I have no idea.
Did you check the toilet? Did you flush?
Listen,
Head right down that way, all right? Sign your documents.
I would have gotten it when I would have gotten it first.